Hey, Sloth Boy.
Hello.
Alright, so today what we have going on is we're going to be replacing this air handler and compressor from our current air conditioning system, which is a heat pump, and we're going back with a gas pack. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the power that comes in to feed our current air handler, which is 40 amps at 220. So we're going to put a sub panel in here because we only need 110, a 20 amp 110 circuit to run the fan motor on our current gas pack. So you're going to learn today how to install a sub panel. First step. What's the first step when we're working with big power?
How to check to make sure it's not on.
Check to make sure it's not on. So we're going to check. And we're going to do it twice, two different ways. You take your meter, which you can buy decent meters for around $35 or $40. This is a little bit more expensive one. All right, so first thing we're going to check is our non-contact voltage. If you hold that button down and hold it next to a wire that has power on it, hold it next to that one right there. It makes that noise and tells us there's power. So hold it next to this one. No power, hold it up to that one. Little bit of power. No power. So that might be trace. Good experience. It could be induced current. So now take that, open up this box. For our air handlers, that's a knife switch. So pull the switch out. Just pull. See the knife switch? So once you pull that out, we know for certain there's no power on this. But now we're going to set that aside, our meter and check for voltage. So you have it set on 200. Okay. So put one on one terminal, and one on the other terminal. There's also some screws in it. You guys can't see it, but you have to take the meter and clamp it to something. So you can use both hands. Clamp it to that. Now you can use both hands to touch the things. There's screws at the very top too. You touch it. Nothing. You got it?
Yep.
So that's nothing. So there's nothing on it. So now we can take this box apart safely. So we're going to need a screwdriver that is a flat blade screwdriver. Take the cover off. Sloth Boy has a little bit of OCD, which is a good thing and a bad thing. Get a flat blade screwdriver. OCD makes you put stuff away. OCD makes you put stuff away neatly, usually.
Yeah.
Alright. Get a flat blade screwdriver. There's one right there in that bag.
Oh.
The one with the minus sign on it. No, that's all. That's actually an ice pick.
Why do you have an ice pick in yours?
Check it for rotten wood. Nope, the top one. That one.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure that's a flat blade.
Yeah. There we go.
There you go. What's this down here? Is it just... it just was hung up. Okay.
You lost the screw.
We lost the screw. As far as we're concerned, this thing is going to be trashed when we're all done. So we're going to undo these screws, and these screws, and those screws. So let's look at what we got in the box first so we can teach our audience, our peeps. Alright, so coming in from our breakers, this black wire comes down. We have a black, a white, and a neutral. In this system, since this is 220, the black is hot, the white is hot, it's not normally hot, and the ground is ground. Then go in and feed this house was built about 25 years ago and this was acceptable code. Today that's not code. So here we have, going to our unit, a black wire, a white wire, and a ground wire, so you have hot, hot, and ground. In new wiring, there'd be 4 wires. There'd be black, red, white, and ground.
And the black and red would be hot.
And the black and red would be hot, the white would be neutral, and then the ground would be ground. Now, unscrew those. They might be tight. You don't have to, just until they stop.
Until they stop?
Yep. They should stop. Oh, that should be good. That's good, that's good. A lot of times they're kind of captive, so they stop.
Am I even doing
Mm-hmm.
anything? Oh. Can I take this out?
Pull out, yeah. That won't hurt you. It's loose. It's just bigger.
Oh.
There it goes. It's a big fat wire because it's got to go farther.
Uh-huh.
That's good. Pull. That's it. Okay.
I don't like flat blades.
Nah, nobody does.
How do they make them?
That's old school. They were easy in the past. Now we have everything is square drive and power panels.
What does that mean?
It's a square instead of a flat.
Oh.
Now these two. The ground and neutral bars and even new panels though are still flat blades. That's good. They didn't leave you any extra wire on that, did they?
No.
Try to grab hold of it with that. If you can't do it with your fingers, grab it with needle nose pliers. Just pull. There you go. Now pull it straight down. Try to make it straight. Try to make the white and the black straight-ish. So you want to just straight it. The technical term is straight it up. Like that. Straight it up like that. That's good. That's good. You don't have to worry about that one yet. So now we got to take the strain relief off. Need this screwdriver again. If you look at the top, right there, there's 2 screws. Unscrew those. That's the strain relief that keeps you from accidentally pulling that wire out of this box.
That's a good thing.
So if you were like wandering around in the attic space and you
Just tugging on wires.
grabbed, tripped or something and kicked a wire or anything, don't take it all the way out, just loosen it. Then you could there's a chance you could pull that wire out of the box, and then you'd have 40 amps at 220 power live and flopping around. Pull it out. Pull it out. You might have to wiggle. Pull it out. Set it to the side. Set that over here to the side. Now, undo this strain relief. Both screws.
I'm just checking to make sure it was loose enough.
You gotta do one more thing before you can pull that wire out.
This?
Yeah, you gotta straighten it up. Bend it out, then bend it up. There you go. That's pretty close. There you go. Now this goes to our unit. We don't need that anymore. Now, we got to do a little bit of demo, which we're just gonna take this board right here off of that, which needs a hammer. Well, yeah, here it is. So grab it like this, kind of at an angle, and pull. Pull down, pull down. Pull! Now get under there. And pull down. Pull! You can do it. It's coming, it's coming. It's coming.
I want to like fall on me. Like,
It won't.
fly off.
There's a nail in the top too. Did you get that one? Now you can lift it straight up. Lift up, lift. There it goes. Now it's out of the way. Except we're going to steal some stuff off of it. So set it down. We're going to take that strain relief off and that strain relief off. So just undo the nuts. Right here. Just undo those.
Okay.
Can you turn it? So they're hard to turn because I usually put them in pretty tight. So you set it like that and tap it with the hammer. Now it should be loose. Take it out, put it back on. That way if we lose part of it, we lose all of it. Now this one's probably, it's not tight. Always, you don't go banging on things until you check.
Well, if it was tight, I would have just gone speedier.
So there we go. I'll put it right here. Down. Now, that's trash. Set it to the side. No. Set it over here to the side. Out of the way. Completely out of the way. Now we need to do some prep work on our sub panel. So take that up. Take that out of the box. This came from Electrical Supply House, but you can get these at Lowe's and Home Depot. Okay. So we got in that box. They didn't come as a kit. We also bought 2 breakers. So where is it? This is what we're looking at. The load center. This is 125 amp load center type BR. It's the type of breaker that we have. They sell them at Lowe's and Home Depot. Eaton. I bought this from a supply house. 125 amps means that it can handle 125 amps, not that it has to have 125 amps in it. So make sure you don't lose those screws because we're going to need them again later. We'll need these again later. So here's our panel. Here's our panel right here. So we're going to turn this like that. Okay. So what's going to happen is our black wire is going to come in through the top. The black's going to come here. The white's going to come here. The ground's going to go there. Okay.
Okay.
And then when we do our circuits, we'll take a breaker, and the breaker is going to hook here, like that, just like that. And then black wire will go from here, and a white and ground will come from there.
What about? Is there just spot
And
for 2 breakers?
Yep, spot for 2 breakers. Go like that,
What do you need?
and that would be 2. So we're going to run 1 breaker to the air conditioner and 1 to an extra circuit for that. And if we wanted to, we could add
2 more.
2 more, like that. So a total of 4 in this panel. So we're going to take this panel, just like this box, like this, and we're going to put it inside that hole.
What about the hammer?
So what we're going to do is, see this little spot right here? gonna take 2 of those out. That one and that one.
Just like that.
Yeah, tap it with a hammer. It should knock it in. And we're doing that so we can put a screw in there. There you go. Do the next one. Now you can wiggle them and they'll pop off. Okay. Those are just mounting slots. The other slots, the round circles, are for running, putting strain relief and running wires. I'm looking for 2 sheetrock screws. Here you go. 2 screws. Drill. So we're going to take this and put this right in here. Right in there like that in our wall. Our wire is going to be plenty long enough. So put a screw in those 2 holes.
This?
No, that's sheetrock, boy.
Where?
Here on the side that we just knocked out. That remember me saying we're going to knock these out to put the screws in?
No.
That's it. Put one in the top.
Just remember you saying you were going to knock them out. I don't remember why.
Okay. Now, if we had put a screw in that hole right there, that would have screwed through this piece of sheetrock and into the closet behind us. And if there was somebody standing there, it would have screwed into them. Now, what we want to do, this is coming right here. This wire is going to come down right here. So we're going to want to knock out this knockout right here. So get that, get this. Let's see. I'm looking for the right size. Yeah, you can knock this one, that one right there, out, and then that'll fit in it. Alright, so then you might want to grab it with the needle nose pliers or something and wiggle. They're kind of hard until you get them almost loose. See, he hit it with a hammer and it came loose. There you go.
No, the other one on the opposite side.
Nope, hold on. Let's check. See if the hole's big enough yet. I took the nut off. The hole's not big enough. Let's see if that one. See if that's the right size. But if that'll go in that hole.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that would be good. But this is too small for this wire.
So you knock the wrong hole out?
Nope. If you look, there's another ring
Oh.
in there. There's actually 2 more rings in there that you can knock out. So.
Both rings?
Yeah, both is fine. So maybe hop up on the ledge so you can get a better. It's coming. There you go. They actually make a special knockout punch removal tool. Never bought one. See, now pops right in. Now put the nut on that. Make sure when you put these in, when you install these, you want the screws. The screws go to the outside of the panel, but when you make sure that they go to where you can get to the screws to tighten them. So if you put it in there and the screws are pointed in the back, you couldn't ever tighten up the wire.
Okay, now
Now we're going to stick the wire in it. So put the wire in it.
we need to open it.
Yeah, that should be
Opened.
opened. The wire should go. There's a little pinchy thing. It's the clamp. You gotta make sure it goes inside the middle of the clamp.
There we go.
More wire. You need to loosen it some. Did it come?
Yeah.
Come all the way. Pull more through. Pull more through. Alright, so what I always want to do is when I pull a wire, put a wire in a box, is come pretty close from the top to the bottom of the box. So, like that. About that far. So you pull it all the way down to the bottom of the box. So now tighten the clamps. Tighten up the clamp. And the reason that we do that is that usually gives us enough wire to run everything we need to run and get the wires to go everywhere we need to get them to go. That make sense? Tighten both sides kind of evenly too.
Oh.
So tighten, halfway and then go back and tighten the first side. Okay. Yep. Now we got to strip the insulation off the wire. The black insulation, we got to strip off the wire. What are you looking at? Where's your knife?
In my room. Forgot it.
Now start at the top. Right, do it like this. Start at the top. See, it's like bumps. So you start at the top in one of the bumps. The middle one is the ground, and then come down.
So I'll top one of the bumps.
Yeah. Cut down on the ground wire. Because if you nick the ground wire, no biggie. If you nick the black wire, one of the wires has power on it, then we got to fix it.
I think that my knife is in one of my pair of pants.
Well, once your pants make it to the laundry, it'll be clean. Move your thumb. You don't want to cut yourself. Just do this bottom. Try to grab the ground wire and pull it apart and see if it'll peel. It should. If it doesn't, you got to do the bottom part. There you go. All the way up. Now, will the other two wires come out? They should. Bull. Pull this wire up. Hold this insulation and pull the wire up. There it goes. Now do the black one. Kind of peel it like a banana. Now you're going to push the insulation into the back of all the way into the back of the box like that. And take your knife and cut it off. Pull this up and hold it. Now, cut it off. You can do this. One person can do this, but pull down on the insulation and cut it. Yep. There you go. Now that's loose. Now, what we got to do is put these wires where they go. Okay. So do you remember? Black goes to one, white goes to one, and ground's going to go over there.
Right.
And if we had a new circuit, new 220 circuit, we'd have black, red, and white. Right. We'd have a ground bus and a neutral bus. So we have two of these. Ground will go to one, white would go to the other, usually on opposite sides of the panel, and then the black and the red.
Okay.
But this is old, so we're going to do it this way. So go ahead and hook that up.
Guessing these?
Yep, you may have to loosen those to get the wires in.
Should I put it in here?
Yep, put it in from this side. Gonna go in
side?
like this.
Okay.
Actually, we probably ought to strip some of that wire off a little bit. Let me show you how to do it. Hold the camera show you how to do it. You're gonna take. You just need a little bit like this. Cut it around, then you can do that, and then it should just peel right off. And now it will go almost all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's on at 5%.
I know, we're about to die. So we'll have to get you close, and we may have to change phones or find a battery. Oh, I know, I've got a battery backup somewhere, a brick,
Or it'll just be speedy.
or just be speedy before our 5% dies. We're actually almost done
Oh, so maybe we'll
with
make
this. Strip it a little bit. The next video will be adding a new circuit. Hold it like that. Then kind of cut it, no, on the top. Cut it on the top, like, stop, hold on. Like that. Like you're whittling.
Okay, I don't think it's steep enough.
It just has to be scored. Then you just cut it.
I'm trying to whittle, but it's not cutting.
It'll go.
There we go.
No, just peel it off. You don't have to cut it. You don't have to do that all the way around. Once you get it cut, once you get it scored lengthwise, you can just peel it off. Remember me peeling it off?
I think so.
So, did you get it?
Yeah.
Just grab it and it should peel right off.
It's not. Dang. Oh wait, never mind. It is.
Well, the first one you do is a little harder than the 100th one,
Yeah.
or the 10,000th one, or I've done one or two more than you have, so.
Mm-hmm. I didn't score it here.
Do this. Oh, there you go. He got it. He got it.
Yep.
Sloth Boy got it. Okay, now we're going to feed this wire, put this wire underneath one of those screws.
Any of them?
Any of them. Maybe do the one at the very top.
This one?
Yeah.
If I can. There we go.
Try sticking your tongue out. It does work. I don't know why. That system has been working for thousands of years. Let's loosen it a little bit more. Go ahead and push it through so it sticks out a little bit. Hi. Loosen the screw up a little bit if you need to.
I did.
Does it stick out a little bit?
Yeah.
Then tighten it.
I am.
Alright, just because I want to, I'm going to check and make sure everything's tight enough, even he does a pretty good job of getting things tight. And then we gotta do some, oh, that's good, just cleaning up, because this needs to be up or like that and out of the way. That's good. There you go. Sub panel is installed. Put the cover on it and we're good. But we'll be back in a few to show you how to add a new circuit to a panel. Say hi, Sloth Boy.
Hello.
Alright, so we're back. Last time you saw us put in a sub panel because we're having to get power for our soon to be new air conditioning unit that just died. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add the circuit so they have power for this, and that'll show you how we can run a new circuit. So what's the first step?
Gotta knock out.
There's some knockouts to take off. We're going to take the cover off. We often will do this kind of stuff with the panel hot. This time we still have the power turned off. We haven't turned the breaker back on yet from when we installed the sub panel. But I'll show you the things not to touch if you don't. Try not to lose those. We're going to need them again. You dropped the screw. Unfortunately, it didn't disappear.
There we go. I got it.
Alright, so now you gotta hold the panel, because when this next last screw comes out, it's gonna be, the panel, the cover will fall off.
Right.
So you take the last one out. Just be careful. See how it dropped? Alright. Now we got the panel off. Now, if you look at this panel, there's a sticker, do not remove these twist outs. The reason for that is when you line the panel up, this is only a 4-circuit panel, so only the top 4 knockouts will ever get used. The bottom ones are just blanks. The reason is the same exact panel could also be a 6 or 8 circuit panel, but in this one it's only 4. So we're going to take the top 2, not the top 2, but the 2 on the right twist outs off, and let me show you why. When we installed the panel, we have 110 on the white wire, 110 on the black wire. This is old circuit. It's not a new wiring. If this was new code, current code, it'd be a black and a red wire. But it'd be 110 on this wire, 110 on this wire. And you can see that the 2 blades for your power are 1 on each side. So get the breakers right there. So when you put the breakers in, to balance the load, if power was coming off of each one, so this breaker would go in, and this would take power off of the black wire. If we had the 2 top ones installed like this, now both are coming off of the black wire. So if you had full load on each one, the load would both be on the black wire. But if we install them both on the right, now you see the bottom one is taking power from the white wire, the top one is taking power from the black wire. So we balance the load out. That's how those are going to go in. Actually right now those breakers are installed, but we're going to take them out so Sloth Boy can do it. So you can see that it doesn't require a professional. And we're going to run our circuit. for our wire is going to come over to about the center of our air handler, somewhere in this area, so that they have access to run the wire that they need for when they install our unit later. So to do this, we're going to take a knockout out one of these small ones at the top, out of the top of the box.
This one of the really tiny ones?
One of the small ones, yep. There you go. And grab a little plier if you need to, but just twist it back and forth. Alright, so what goes in that hole?
This one.
Yep, the strain relief. I'm going to put that in. There's a couple different styles. There's this kind. I call those Romex connectors. That's what I call them, but they're probably more properly called strain reliefs. We also have another style. Equally as effective, like this. And this would just punch in the hole. Just put in the hole. I use this style when I'm filling in a hole on a panel that wasn't done originally, or if this was in sheetrock and I couldn't get to both sides. Did you get that tightened up?
Yeah.
So if I can't get to the top to tighten these screws up, you would use one of these. And it does the same thing, provide the strain relief. And so now we need our wire. Got our wire. One of the things you want to look at is all the stuff around and up that you're going to have to deal with. So look, follow the pathway from here, up, down.
Can you just like hang on this?
Well, that's what I want you to see is, does it have to go above or below that piece of ductwork?
Above.
Above. So,
Well, I was saying, can we hang it off this?
No, we're going to staple it along the ways. So we're going to go above the ductwork. So go ahead and put it above the ductwork. Nope, it's not. You're not above the ductwork.
Oh.
So, yeah, there you go.
I think I took the hole in it.
You didn't.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. There it comes. Can you grab it?
Yes.
There you go. So now pull it. Let go of this side. Just pull it through. There you go. I'm going to stick it through the strain relief.
All the way down?
Go, yeah, what we need out of it. So we don't have to go all the way down. Yeah, let's come down to about there. That's good. And then we're going to tighten it up. Tighten up the strain relief on it. I'll hold this for you. I'm getting hit with a coil of wire. And tighten up the strain relief. Go ahead. Good. That one knockout, one strain relief will hold two of these, at least two of these wires. So when we go and add our second circuit, it'll be fine. Because we're going to add another circuit eventually to run a tankless water heater up here.
In this one?
Yep. It'll wing feed it right through that same hole.
When are we going to do that?
I don't know. We might do it tonight. We might do it later. We have 34 minutes on this particular video, so it depends on how long this takes. Alright, so this is going to come this way. So uncoil this. he's uncoiling the wire, and that's gonna be plenty. I'm looking for a staple in my bag. There's one in here. There's a couple. Right here. Hold this, and I'm gonna put a staple up in this up high. If I can get to it. Staple there. And come down to about here. There. Now, alright, back to you. Alright, so now we're back to him. So we're gonna put our box. You've done a bunch of these.
Like right here?
Turn it on the other side.
Like this?
Yeah. What do you gotta do first?
Knock that out.
Knock the knockout out. So we see we got these little holes. That's what the wire's gonna go through. And knock one of them out.
There we go.
Just like that. That's good enough. You can go ahead and stick the wire in it if you want. Sometimes it's just easier to stick the wire in first. Don't pull it up tight, but you can pull the wire tight once you get the box in place. Now, one thing that you want to do is you want this staple within 9 inches or so of 9 inches of that box, and my hand is about 9 inches. So put the box right where that knot is, like right there. There you go. And that's within 9 inches. Now that box won't stay like that, just with that hook, but we like to use those in this type of application because that little bracket will hook and hold it in place nicely until you can get a screw in place. Is that a yellow screw?
Yeah.
That's not a Phillips. That's a star drive.
Oh.
He's trying to use a star drive.
I wasn't trying to, it was just connected to it.
With a Phillips bit.
I have both.
We need those little sheetrock screws.
I have both in my pocket.
Yeah, that's what we need.
That was just the one I pulled.
We just use little sheetrock screws for this. Not these special fancy screws, but put one, at least one. I like to, just for fun. That's good. You don't have to pull it all the way through it. I like two because we're using a drill, and they're easy to install. But if you were using a screwdriver,
Where'd it go?
you pull it through.
Oh. Do one in the middle.
So put one in the middle, but don't pull it through.
I didn't mean to. I don't think I have. I already have one more. I didn't even know you could do that.
That's why I told you, don't pull it through on the first one. What? Did you break the bit?
Yeah.
Oh, you broke the screw.
Oh, that's the screw. Okay, I thought it was the bit. That scared me.
So he wrung the screw off. possibility with sheetrock screws. Stop. Go a little bit more, just a hair more, not much.
More?
Yeah, I don't know, let me see. That's probably good. Just gotta hold that box up there. So now, pull the wire on tight, on down tight. There we go. That's it. Now we can hook everything up. We need, we need a pocket knife. I think I left mine down. So we're gonna pause for a second. All right, we're back. We have our pocket knife again. So let's go ahead and hook up the breaker side of this circuit. Now, if this was, you might have had to pull this wire through walls and all kinds of stuff and all kinds of places. It's just a distance from the panel. So we're gonna go ahead and strip this wire back. Remember, just run the blade down the middle, because the middle is where the ground wire is. And all you have to do is, you don't have to push real hard, you have to score it. A sharp knife is ideal. So hold it down closer to the end. Hold it closer to here as you do the last little bit. Okay, so now peel it apart. Yep. Get all the paper. That's it. You can use a knife to cut that if you have to.
What?
The paper. Then just cut the yellow off up at the top. That's it. Now, the way this is going to work, what we want to do is you want to keep things nice and neat in these panels. So we're going to come down, kind of straight down and turn like this over to our screw. So it's nice and neat. Now our breaker is going to go here, right? So then we're going to come in, turn, down, and then over. Like that. So it's all nice and neat.
Okay.
Make everything neat. This isn't very tight, but it'll be good enough. Alright, so you need to get everything kind of lined up. So put the breaker in. Put the butt end in first. Yep, and then just push it down. That's it. So now we're going to take our, that's it, that's all it is. Black wire, and just kind of turn it neat like I just showed you. Just bend it over.
What about?
We'll get that in a second. About cutting it to length and stripping the end. Yeah. Nope. It's not gonna go in the hole. Just you want it.
Okay.
You want it kind of let it go. So that's about where it needs to be. So we'll have to cut a little bit of this off. Now the ground wire is gonna go to this, and the white wire is gonna go to that. So come about here. Fold it about here. Like that. And then lay it down. And then do the same for this.
So we're gonna cut these wires?
Yep. Where'd the... You got any one of those pliers in your pocket still?
Nope.
Oh, there they are.
Right there.
Alright. So use these. We got these. You want to cut this so that it is approximately that long. Right about there.
Here.
Yeah. That's the stripper gauge, but
Where?
cut it there.
There.
Yep. That's it. And then strip off the thickness, when you strip the wires, you're going to just use the thickness of the tool as your gauge, especially when you have a tool like this. That's about the right thickness. Don't make sure it's in the hole.
It is.
Okay. Twist it and pull. This is number 12 wire. So you use the one for number 12, and then this is going to go inside. So if you look at the breaker, you'll see that little hole right there. See the little hole?
Mm-hmm.
That's where it goes. And then you're going to use the screwdriver, and you're going to tighten the screw. Now, if you were working this as a main electrical panel, you might not want to turn the power off to everything in the whole house, which we do that very often.
We turned off everything in the house?
Yep. You'd have to turn off the main, if we were doing this on that panel in our garage, our main distribution panel.
Yeah.
In order to take the power off of it, you'd have to turn the main breaker off and turn everything on the whole house off.
Oh, so everything would be down for like an hour?
Yeah. Everything would be down for however long you work on this, which we don't normally do. If you don't do that, you have to be very careful not to touch these lugs.
That's what happens.
You get shocked
Like
and dead.
Oh.
Very, very much different than if you get shocked by an outlet. Did you get it?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you're going to take and cut these wires so that they are approximately just a little bit shorter than the edge of the, so about right there. You got them both at the same time.
Oh, great.
Just shy of the edge of the box. Maybe you cut them both at the same time. Try cutting them one at a time. There you go. Then you strip the white one about the same length. Newer panels, newer wiring systems, this would be, these two wires would go to different lugs.
Cut the wire.
That's because you didn't have it in the center of the hole, or you had it in a hole that was too small. Are you on a 12? Do you know which hole is 12?
I'm not on 12.
You need to be in the 12.
There.
Is that the 12?
Oh, wait, no, that's the 12.
Yeah.
The second one. I was on the third one.
So you were on 14.
Yeah.
You can also strip the end of these wires with a knife or a razor blade or something.
Why isn't it cutting? There we go.
Now you're going to put these under two separate of these lugs. So you'll probably have to back the screws out, but you don't want to put two underneath the same one. Down, turn. You keep it lined up straight.
I just lined up.
You're up. You're too high. There you go. If you need, I'll get it started. There you go. That was it. That was straight.
Enough?
I don't know.
Yes.
Just poke it all the way through until you want about a quarter of an inch, half an inch sticking out the other. There you go. Something like that. That way you know you got it in there. I paused this while he was working on tightening the ground one up some more. While he was working on getting that screw loose because he was fighting with it. Alright, let me double check all the tightnesses. Make sure we don't have any issues. Alright, now let's get our panel, get the stuff out of there. And then our cover. We need to take the top knockout out of the cover. And if you see on the back, they are not attached on the back. So if we take this and set it down, like right here. Come here. We can take and push this, pop that through. Set it down and pop it with your heel of your hand. Like on the corners. Go to the corner. There you go. Now flip it over. And lift it up. Here, grab it. Don't pry on the neck. Don't pry on the one below it because you'll pop it free.
Yeah.
Take that and twist. Bring it back to you. Back to you somewhere. Up and down, up and down. There you go. That's it. Now, nope, we're just gonna do the one. We're only doing the one for now. So that's gonna go back to our panel. Should lift it up a little bit. So that, yeah, that's it. Get that started. And then we just put the screws in. And I'm gonna hit pause because we're running out of storage capacity and I want y'all to see the next step. Alright, so I paused you while we put these couple of screws in. So we got our screws, got our panel. Our breaker right now is turned off, so we don't have power on that. And we're gonna come over here. And what we're gonna do for our air conditioners, we need a light switch. And that's how they turn them on and off. So we're gonna add one more wire to this box. Put it in that hole.
Will it go in the same hole?
Yep, but it'll go in the same hole. So we're gonna add a second wire. It should go in the same hole. There it goes. Pull it down about 9 inches sticking out of the box. A little bit more. Right there. Alright. And then we're going to staple this right here and leave it kind of dangling for the heat and air guys. But for right now, let's just put it underneath that wire. So it stays right there. So it stays out of our way. So now, I'm going to strip those back inside the box. So you want to strip the sheath insulation off almost up to the edge of the end of the box. Come to about here.
About where?
Right there. Come to
There.
right about there. Yep. Right over there. Then do the next one. we're going to cut that wire off so you don't need to strip it all the way down. I would normally cut it before you do this part, but that's fine. Yeah, that's good here. Cut this, cut it right there. Right there. Cut this one right there.
We cut this one?
Yep, cut that one. Squeeze.
Oh, that's why it wasn't in all the way.
Yeah. These aren't the best wire cutters. There it goes. Now strip the insulation back.
Okay.
You can just use a knife and cut it with a knife. Now this one to get still. There it is. When you cut the insulation off at the inside the box, just be careful not to nick the wires.
Okay.
There you go. Do the same thing with those
Did
two.
you switch the blade?
Nope.
Oh, it just seems sharper than previously.
Alright, so now separate them, the wires out, the two blacks together, the two whites together, and the two bears together in preparation for the next step. Alright, just bend them out of the way. Alright, now we're going to work on just needed, that's fine. Now we're going to work on these first. So what we're going to do is starting about right here,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to grab them with our lineman pliers, these pliers. Grab them, come up, grab them, and twist to the right. Twist. Let that twist run up into the box. Alright, that's good. That's good. Now, those are twisted together, nice and tight, nice and good connection. We're going to cut this wire right there off. Only one of them.
Right where?
Right here.